All right, everyone. Well, hey, welcome. Happy Tuesday morning. Thank you for joining me instead of theoretically your sales meetings. My name is JD Waldvogel. I am your digital media and technology specialist. If you don't know me, welcome. Just so you know that this is a picture of myself and my wife, Jeanette, arriving at the Michigan Awards ceremony earlier this year. Obviously, back when it still made sense for me to wear a three-piece suit and tux and stuff like that. Um, if I look different in the photo than I do on Zoom, it's just because it's kind of taken a toll on me being home for a while. So, thank you guys for joining me. So today is a session I'm really excited for. This is part one of two of video in terms of luxury in the luxury market. This all started because Valerie Gunther, the amazing luxury ambassador. This is going to be tough because I'm going to keep letting people in as we do this. The amazing luxury, and I don't know why you guys are saying that was a joke. That's me, but whatever. I'll deal with it. The amazing luxury ambassador and Sunstar asked me to do this course. She wanted me to talk about video in regards to luxury. And then we decided, it's a great time to push that out to everybody. So we wanted to make it a company-wide thing. So I've already seen some of our agents from Premier come in. If you guys didn't know, we merged with Coldwell Banker Premier Properties in St. Augustine area in Florida. And boy, does it look nice down there. So yeah, today's part one of two of video in luxury. And like I said, I'm going to try to watch the questions as they come in, but I will probably save more of them for a Q&A section at the end. I'm going to try to keep this no longer than an hour 10, hour 15. I want to be respectful of your guys' time, and I also want us to remember that this is, like I've said 2 or 3 times, part one of two. So today, what we're going to be talking about is the why. Why is video important? How to shoot video, meaning what gear are we going to use? And then content, probably, in my opinion, the most important part of it, what to shoot video on, how to actually leverage, what to shoot video on the content. Next week, we're going to talk about how to actually leverage these videos. Where do we put them? What programs do we need to put them in? Obviously, you can see we're going to talk about YouTube, BombBomb, Facebook, Moxie. So this is kind of the why and the how in terms of content. And then next week is going to be, okay, I've got these videos. What do I do with these videos? So that's going to be the kind of course for the next couple of weeks. I'll give you a little hint right now. If you've heard me talk about video before, you're not going to, you'll definitely hear some new stuff today. But ultimately, the how in terms of video for luxury or residential or being a YouTuber, a food blogger, a car blogger, and they're all the same. The hows are all the same. It's putting these things into practice that you really need to do. So we're going to stick to the presentation kind of as we go. I've got some obviously physical examples I'm going to show you guys, and of course I have some video examples we're going to go through. For the time being, I'm just going to maximize this PowerPoint like this. I hope you guys can see this okay. But as we still got a bunch of people pouring in, and I don't want to miss them being admitted. If I ever ask if you guys have any questions, it's because I want to take a sip of coffee. So let's get into it. So in my experience, I say this a lot with social media whenever I do new agent onboarding training, and I think the exact same message applies here to video as well. There are sort of two main groups when it comes to video. It's technically 3. The third group is people who don't want to do it at all. They want nothing to do with it, and that's fine. That's up to you. That's your choice. But the two main camps are people who really want to do video, but don't know how. They have great ideas. They've got great this or that, and they don't know what to actually do. The other, sorry, I gotta send something to my wife. My wife is 30 weeks pregnant right now, and so I gotta make sure I'm keeping an eye on her real quick. Give me 30 seconds here, guys. Okay, cool. So, anyway, sorry about that, guys. So, there's the camp of people who, like I said, they want to shoot videos and they understand the importance of it, but they don't necessarily know how to do it. And then there are the people with the technical capabilities. I know how to shoot the video, I know how to edit it, but they don't understand why they should do it, or they don't have the motivation to do it. And ultimately, what ends up happening with either of those groups is you don't have the full picture. You don't have the full, I guess I said that, picture. And so what I like to do is I like to start with some stats. So let's start with some of those real quick, because these stats here, to me, is the sort of thing of, if you are, as an agent, as a small business owner, objectively worried about what is best for your business, this to me is the kind of stuff that you don't need to, you can't ignore. So let's start with this, right? Video stats. This top stat genuinely is one that I updated when I was doing research yesterday. I made some video stats about 2 years ago, and the stats said more than 550 million hours of YouTube are watched each day. More now in 2020, that's the least Midwest way of saying that. In 2020, there we go. More than 1 billion hours of videos are watched on YouTube each and every day. More than 1 billion hours of videos. Jeanette and I probably make up one of those billion hours each night, but 1 billion hours of videos are watched each day. This next stat is outdated, and I keep it that way for a reason, and I always do it this way. So it's kind of like one of the few tricks I have up my sleeve. So if you've seen this, you've seen it. By 2019, video traffic will account for 80% of all consumer internet traffic. Well, guess what? 2019, I don't know if you guys know this, 2019 was last year. It is 2020 now. 2020 now. Video traffic is over 80% of all internet traffic. Over 4 out of 5 minutes spent on the internet are spent watching video. Social video, meaning video on social media, and not including things like Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, etc., but social media platforms, generates 1,200% more shares than text and images combined. So that stat to me is one of those where if all you're worried about is your business, exclusively your business, 1,200% more shares than text and images combined by doing video. These next two are two new ones that I actually found when I was preparing again yesterday. 78% of people watch online videos every week, and over half of all people who use the internet view online videos every single day. Every day we're watching video. And then again, going to this bottom point here, I love this one. Viewers retain 95% of a message when they watch it in a video, compared to 10% when reading it in text. 95% of a message when they watch it in a video, compared to text. So again, and we're going to talk about that once we get when we get to this tips section, as we get further down the this presentation here. But 95% of a message is retained in a video, compared to 10% in a text. An email newsletter, an article, a blog, anything like that. It's 85% more likely to stay in your head if you do a video. So again, all of these, I could look at just about any of these individually and say, this is why for your business you need to do video. Because here's another thing about these stats, right? And I've looked at research. I did a luxury presentation probably 2 years ago with Jeff Greenway, who used to be our director of luxury. And one of the things I found really interesting in doing research for that was that all of these internet stats, in terms of video usage, in terms of purchasing products on the internet, they don't know any age boundaries. Meaning it's not like, okay, millennials are really doing this, but Gen X and baby boomers will not so much. It's the same across the board. Every generation is watching video. Every generation is purchasing products or services through the internet. And I was listening to this on the radio months ago now, so of course I forget the actual statistic, but it was something like, it was actually Gen X and baby boomers share like 6 or 7 times the amount of content on social media than millennials do, at least in Facebook specifically. So it's, sometimes it even goes counter to what we believe. So this, like I said, this to me is enough to make you go, okay, I should be doing video. Like, maybe you do know that at a base level. I should be doing video. And I'm seeing some of the names that are attending this class And I've seen a lot of you guys do video. I mean, the first person, I'm going to call people out just because I can, but Anthony Scaramucci down in Paradise, he does videos for his listings all the time, and Anthony does a really cool thing, and we're actually going to look at this later, where you're in the video a little bit. And that's actually a key aspect to having a fantastic video. I could just keep scrolling and see a bunch of names, but I don't want to... people love and also hate shout outs, so I'm not going to do too much of that. But again, so these stats are sort of enough for me to hopefully just help you realize that you should be doing video. Now we're going to move on to the two main parts of this, which are firstly, how, meaning what gear are we going to use to shoot video? Literally, how do I shoot a video? And then now Anthony's doing some promo in the comments. Go to my YouTube channel. This is not a promo show, Anthony, all right? All right, man? Jeez, no, I'm kidding. How do you shoot the video? And then we're going to talk about what should your videos cover, content-wise, some examples of that, and then some tips, because that's the hardest thing. You know, like I said, I think a lot of you here know that you should be doing video. I think the biggest obstacle is just either not knowing how to, or more likely, just not wanting to do it. Just not wanting to put yourself on camera and put yourself out there, which can be tricky for sure. So that's good to hear, Anthony. I will obviously be on the lookout for that when you send that video out. So we're gonna go full screen. Hopefully I can still see the participants, but we're already quarter after the start time, so you know it is what it is. So this is I'm gonna go through this list, guys, and then I'm gonna show you some of these things. Okay. So here we go. Oh, sweet, I can still have the participants up here. What do you need to shoot video? And the answer to that is basically what you see in this photo right here. That's it. That's all you need. What do you need to shoot video? Let's take a look. I don't know why Carrie's trying to call me. A smartphone. Number one. Hopefully you guys can both see me. I don't know if you can see my screen and my face, but we'll do this in a second. A smartphone. That is the only camera you need, guys. A smartphone. Number two, a tripod and or a clicker. And again, I'm going to show you examples of all of this stuff after we go through the slide. Texting Carrie to make sure she knows I'm busy. A light. A ring light specifically is sort of the cheaper, more productive option, which I'm going to show you an example of in a moment. And if you really want to go above and beyond, a microphone. A microphone that connects either right into the port on your smartphone, or that can attach to your tripod or something like that. That already, and one of those I know that basically everybody on this call has, a smartphone. So all you truly need is the tripod. If you want to have high quality, high production videos on a budget, getting a ring light and getting a microphone are sort of like the essential tier. And then the next part comes into play. Editing apps. You've got a couple of options when it comes to videos, guys. You can, and we'll talk about this with listings specifically, you can hire a professional. Hire someone who shoots and edits videos for you to work with you on your team, with your listing, stuff like that. But we, over the past few months, have done so many trainings on how to edit video. And I'm going to show you an example of this in a little bit here. But we had an agent, and I was going to call him out because I could have swore I saw his name earlier, but I don't see him on the call right now. I did new agent training, but through Zoom with Florida. I believe this agent participated in June or early July. Brand new agent to real estate. He had a long career in Canada, had a long career in Florida, I believe doing somewhere in the medical field. And he was brand new, wanted to learn how to do video. He has already done minimum 3 videos for the listing that he got within the first month of being an agent, and a bio video that he did to try to get to know him and explain his background, and then other content-related video, or kind of more community-related videos. He's already been doing those in the past 30 days because he looked at these things, bought the gear that he needed, didn't go overboard, didn't buy extra gear, but bought what he needed and went out and shot the videos and just did it. And again, obviously these things here, this gear is going to be related to all kinds of video, not just luxury. The luxury part's really going to come in the next couple of steps here. But this is the how-to with all things video. So the editing apps themselves are ways that you can go in and edit these videos. That's the thing I was talking about with our agent in Florida who was editing their own videos, who are agents in St. Croix. Plenty of them. I think I saw Chris Powers on here. I know Chris is doing their own videos. Chris and Christy do their own videos. I know that Corinne in St. Croix does her own videos. I know people all over this place that do them because they took the time to do it, to learn how to do it. And listen, I always get the pushback that there are a lot of things that I need to do. I have a lot, we are agents, and you're absolutely right. The bulk of what you do is you go out there and you buy and sell real estate. You work with clients. But another way that I always like to look at this is to remember that you're also a small business. Everything that you guys do is also a small business, and this marketing is part of being a small business. And you have, not to toot the horn of the marketing group, myself excluded, you have the luxury, of having this awesome marketing group to help you with these assets and this training and all of these programs and technologies. But part of it is still ultimately, and we'll talk about this with actually the tips in a bit, is doing it. Apps like Splice, which is admittedly an Apple and specific product, but Video Shop, that is, Android and Apple and iPhones and iPads and tablets, is a very simple to learn editing app. But even though I say simple, you still need to take the time to do it. You still need to sit down for half an hour, shoot some videos of your home, and try splicing them together. Try adding the music, try adding the text, and make it happen. Now, if you're serious about video, there is a kind of a level 2 that I like to show you guys, which is called a stabilizer. And we're gonna look at these in a second, but they are, like, as kind of a tech nerd, one of the coolest things that you can get for still under $150, and it's just so much fun to play with. I want to take us through some of these tools. So I'm gonna stop my screen share. Hopefully you guys can still see me, which I believe you can. Yeah, because I can see you guys now. Hello, good to see you. So let's work through. Oh, everyone waved. That was so sweet. Thank you. So, all right, let's start with some of this gear. The first thing is a tripod. There are sort of 2 levels of smartphone tripods you can get. One of them I have right here. This is sort of your basic level 1 smartphone tripod. The example that I'm going to show you on Amazon in a minute is about $12. That's it. You can get one of these things for $12 and it already makes your videos infinitely better. Maybe not infinitely, but way, way better, because otherwise this is my setup, right? I am either, let me see if I can back up a bit. I am holding my phone out like this and talking like this, which really limits my capabilities in terms of motion, in terms of where I'm positioning it, because one quick tip, never position your phone lower than level. Never look down on your phone, because that's when all of my chins start to appear, and it's just not a good view for me. So always do level or even a little bit above. I mean, if you've ever watched a blogger or a YouTuber before, that's how those videos are. It's a little bit higher because that is a more flattering angle, but B, you can normally get more surroundings in that shot. But if I put my phone in this tripod, and the cool thing here, this one's got a little level right here, so that I can actually make sure that the shot is not crooked. All I have to do, slide my phone into this little gimmick in the back, and now I can set this on a table, I can set this on top of my car, I can set it wherever. Get that down there for a second. Set it right here. You see it? And then I can click play and I can record my video like this. I can do literally what I'm doing now, which is talk with my hands, move around a little bit. And we'll talk about this towards the end, but the key to your videos being the most successful is you. I know that that's like one of those really cheesy things that you hear with video a lot. I'm sure you've heard me say that a lot, but your clients want to work with you because they like you, because they respect you, they trust your knowledge, they trust your expertise on this area, and especially when it comes to luxury, you are the key to making this happen. You've got the power of Coldwell Banker Global Luxury behind you. You've got the Black Book, you've got the syndication, you've got all of this awesome stuff, but the key to this all is you. None of that stuff works without you there. So we'll go more into depth on that later, but motion, how you talk, is a very underrated key as to putting your person, I don't know why I was stumbling there, putting your personality out there, showcasing who you are a little bit, the way you say words, whether you say 2020 or 2020, the way you move your hands, the way you kind of touch your face, well, don't touch your face, all that sort of stuff. And Deb, that's great. So that's one of the things I'm going to show in a second. This is the basic level, but let me actually share my screen and show you kind of the second level. So I'm going to show you guys examples on Amazon of these products, but I want to make it clear from the get-go. I don't, and I say that I don't know why I feel always so nervous about this. I don't work with any of these brands or companies. We as a company don't work with any of these brands or companies. I just look for price and I look for reviews. So this is the one that I was talking about a second ago. This is not the exact one that I have, but it's essentially the exact same thing. $11.89. You can buy this on Amazon for $11.89. The other version of this, and it's personal preference, is this kind of guy right here. This one is a little bit more maybe versatile in your use, but this is a kind of a tripod / selfie stick that comes with a clicker. And let me explain what I mean by that. Tripod part's pretty self-explanatory, except that you can see that this goes 62 inches. So that's like, what, over 5 feet? That's almost level with me, because I'm not that tall. So this allows you to not have to put it on a table, right? Or if you put it on a table, to get that much more out of it than I think this is maybe about a foot long right here. So you get a lot more out of it, but also, I know it's kind of a jokey millennial-y thing, it functions as a selfie stick. It allows you to hold it out, and when you're doing a home tour, that is so useful. It is so helpful. I've got pretty short arms, so I don't get to put that much of the home in the shot. But if I'm using a selfie stick, or even at kind of half extended, I can hold it out and get more in the shot itself. And additionally, this one in particular, and a lot of the brands have this, they come with, and this is what Pam was just mentioning. I'm sorry, was it Deb that was mentioning it? I'm getting everything in my life mixed up right now. Deb was just mentioning this. Sorry, Deb. Is that this one itself comes with a clicker. Too many windows up on my screen. You can see that right here. It comes with a clicker, and what that allows you to do, it's Bluetooth, so you connect it to your Bluetooth, and then now I can stand as far as, like you said, on the other side of the room. I can stand a few feet away, but I don't have to lean in, click play, and then lean in and click pause or done when I'm recording. I can sit back here, have the little clicker in hand, go boop. Hey guys, JD here, and I wanted to talk about blah 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Boop. And you might get a good enough take where there's no editing required. You don't need to pause. You don't need to, trim the ends of the video. You can just do it all in one take. So this to me is like the absolute essential. You need to get some sort of tripod to stabilize your videos, and they're $12. Or this one here is $22. And this is the one with the full tripod and the clicker. Level 2 is a microphone. So there are a couple versions here that I have, for as an example. And again, this starts to become, what price point do you want to work with? Now, with the microphones especially, I would make sure that they work correctly with your smartphone, because you can see all the ports and the dongles and everything just get really messy after a while. This one in particular is one that you would plug in to your smartphone. You plug it into the headphone jack, and that clips onto your shirt. So I'm going to stop the screen share for a second. Here's the key with audio, guys, is that when I'm doing a video from my smartphone, this right here is my microphone. And the closer I am to it, the more clear you can hear me. But the further away I get, whether I'm outside, whether I'm in a room or wherever, the further away I get, the more that my voice starts to mesh with all of the surroundings of the room. With the wind outside, with the dogs barking, which I'm glad they haven't done yet, with babies crying, with any of these things, right? That starts to become part, kind of level with what we hear. I've seen some great videos that our agents have done when they've gone outside and shot a video of a listing, of a condo, and you can't hear them because of the wind. So, and then also if you turn, that's one of the big things with the microphones, is that if you turn, your voice starts to go a little bit away, and then as you come back, it gets a little bit louder. But with the specific microphone that I'm looking at right here, we've got two different versions, and they function differently. This one right here literally clips onto your shirt. or your dress or your jacket or whatever you're wearing. It clips on right here. And as you turn, the microphone turns with you. So if you're motioning to a board, if you're motioning to any sort of object, or if you're interviewing somebody and turning to a person, the audio stays with you. This thing's $24, right? Again, not all that much. The other version, and this is sort of the higher quality version, if you will, is something that mounts to your phone's tripod or mounts to your camera itself. This one I just picked because I know the brand Movo, and they normally have some pretty good quality items. But as you can see through the pictures here, a couple of things. One, if you get the right sort of tripod, and again, you got to make sure that you've got the right gear for stuff, meaning that if you want to use this microphone with a smartphone, you have to get the specific tripod. But again, I literally Amazoned smartphone microphone, and all of these options come up. I even have one for my computer, actually. If you look right here, I've got screen sharing. I've got one for my computer because I want to make sure I have high quality audio when I'm recording voiceovers, when I'm recording our podcasts, anything like that. And it genuinely makes a world of difference, especially with like background noise. So some of these clip right on, and what these are called here, when we're looking at the ones where my mouse is hovering, these are called directional mics. So these, kind of the keys in the title, right? They direct where the audio is going to be received from. So instead of having this big open room of audio or this big open channel, it condenses the area that shoots just like this. And some of these, if we click on this one down here, actually come with basically wind buffers that you can put over it to help stop the wind getting into the sound. It's never going to cancel out 100%. But it's always gonna cancel out. In the film industry, we call these dead cats because when the bigger ones for the big boom mics, they're about this big, and you're like, I'll get a dead cat for the mic. There's too much wind. So you can call it that if you want, or you can just completely ignore that, whatever you want. But again, these really help with getting clear, concise audio, and I personally think that is the most overlooked aspect of a video. Where, okay, I got my shot all set up, I got the angle right, oh shoot, I don't have good audio. So that's one thing that I think is pretty important, is making sure you have clear sounding audio. And then finally, I got two more, I also said a ring light. Now this is one thing that has really come to light, no pun intended, in the age of Zoom and Google Hangouts, is that we might have great angles, but we might be shooting our videos or on camera from the deepest, darkest corner of our room. We don't have a window next to us that's bringing light in. We don't have, we might just look like you're in, a cave somewhere. So what you can do, well, first of all, what you can do is, make sure you're near a window, make sure the lights are on in the room you're shooting. That really, you don't normally need an entire light kit. You just need to make sure your room is at standard lighting. These things now, smartphones can shoot what's called 4K video. 4K is like is the highest quality commercial or publicly available video quality. So you don't need to have these giant cameras. Even when I was at film school 7 years ago, in order to shoot 4K, we had this big honking camera that we had to haul out, get on this massive tripod and shoot with. Now I can shoot the same quality video here. But the second that the lighting in the room goes down or my area starts to get darker, the quality of the video goes down. So lighting is huge. But I also have something here called a ring light, which you can get if you just go to Amazon, type in ring light. This thing was about $35, I think. And all I do, it's a USB port. So let me plug it in real quick. I have too many things plugged into my USB. Can I unplug that one? I think so. The computer's still going? Okay, I don't know what I unplugged. I just want to make sure I didn't shut everything down. Okay, so I plugged it in. Got a little control switch right here. I turn it on, and boom. When I do, look how glowing I am, guys. Look how great that is. And what's great is I can turn it down if it's a little too bright. I can turn it up if I want it to be brighter. I can change the color light. So if you look here, we got like more of a blue light. That one's white, and now we got a warm yellow. And again, you can see the different colors on my face like that. 30-some bucks just to improve the lighting that much. And the reason why it's a ring shape, by the way, is so that it's evenly spread. So part of the problem with lights as we know them now, or that, when you're just turning a lamp on or getting one studio light, is they're directional, right? So they kind of really light up your forehead, but they don't get the bottom of your face that much, or vice versa. This thing is a round, smooth circle that with the idea of evenly spreading light across. Yeah, Fred. So Fred asked if you want to, do some people shoot video without audio and then overlay voice? Yes, absolutely. So basically, voiceover is what that is, and it really depends on the purpose of the video. Most times, people do that is with listing videos, and you can do. When I was talking about Splice earlier or Video Shop, you can do that right there. You can actually record the voiceover in the app while you're looking at the video. Or again, you can use Premiere, which is what I use. It's the Adobe program, or the professionals can do it for you. But people do that all the time. It just depends on the purpose of the video. Anthony says, tip with audio, and you want to play back your video, unplug the mic connections to your phone. Yeah, that's a great point, Anthony. If you shoot a video with one of the plug-in mics that you connect to your shirt, when you go to watch the video back, just make sure you unplug it so that you can hear the audio, because it does go into your microphone port. That's a great point, Anthony. Thank you. Where do you attach the ring light, or do you have to hold it? No, you can. Again, it just depends on the brand. Mine's got a tripod, so I would actually set this kind of in front of me, where to make sure that the angle is going to hit me right. Some that you can get do literally clip onto computers or phones or stuff like that. And again, a ring light in particular is not going to make sense in every situation. It's going to make sense for a stationary video. But you don't need to hold it, no, because that would defeat the purpose of having a tripod for the phone if you now have to hold the ring light. Otherwise, you're going to be kind of doing this, right? You got ring light in one hand, phone in the other. That's not going to make for a high-quality video. But yeah, so it really just depends on the brand. So last but not least, and then we're going to get into the next section of this, is the stabilizer. Like I said, I love these things. I'm going to share the brand that I personally enjoy the most, but again, it's personal preference. This is called DJI. This is the Osmo Mobile, and I'm just going to play the video. I wish I could turn the audio off. Yeah. Basically, what it does is it stabilizes your shot. So it's a little mechanical device. You turn it on, you pop your phone in, and as you can kind of see from this thing here, and these really cool dancers, it moves with your motion. It is smooth. It is, you can, literally, this is shot with it. Look how fast you can move with this. Yeah, it's a bit more stylized of an example than I want. But basically, as you walk through a home, your steps are not felt in the shot. You are not bobbing up and down. You are not, shaking with your hand. You are smoothly walking through a home. I actually, one of our agents in Grand Rapids shot a cool video. I should have prepared this one, where he was riding a bike down the street, and his buddy was leaning out of a car window. And again, have a third friend watching just for safety. His buddy was leaning out of the back seat of a car with a camera on a stabilizer, filming him as they went. And he was doing like, "Hi, I'm so-and-so realtor with Coldwell Banker AGS Schmidt, and I wanted to show you one of the really cool communities in this area. Let's go take a look." And the shot was smooth. It was seamless. It was super, super, super cool. I think it was Jason. Lori, thank you. I think Jason did that one. Yeah. Brian Klinger said best stabilization available. I will give you my answer, but I always do that with the caveat that it's personal preference. I really like DJI, this brand right here. I'll put it in the chat. Again, I am not an endorser. I am not an ambassador for the brand, but in my experience and in my previous experience, this is a great product, and you can get it for $119, and then the combo, I think it comes with something extra here for an extra $20. So this to me is like the level 2. So unless you're absolutely positive that you're gonna go out and just start slaying with video, don't buy this, because I don't want you to buy it and then have it sit on your shelf and collect dust. Oh, and for the record, this one comes with a tripod too. As you can see, a tripod's built into the bottom here. So this is my personal one. My personal favorite. If you're interested, they do have refurbished products. They do have extra gear if you're looking for something a little bit less. But again, even if you get this thing and you get a microphone and a ring light, and I'm going to round up here, and I'm not saying that this is, chump change, but $200 you spent on your stabilizer, your microphone, and your light. $200 to have a fully functioning movie studio. Yes, Valerie, it is. A gimbal is just another brand or word. It accomplishes the exact same thing. I think a gimbal specifically was an obsolete brand from DJI, if I'm right. But yes, same exact thing. So let's move on, guys, to what should your videos cover? This is the big part, right? Okay, I'm gonna do video. What should I do video on? This is the part. Oops, we just did this. That people get hung up on a lot. Here's my cop-out answer, and then I'm going to give you actual examples. Anything and everything. And I think that anything is far more important than the everything, because I'm not saying every single thing you do should be a video, because it shouldn't, because that's going to get redundant after a while. But anything can be a video. I used to always use the example, I still do in my trainings. I go to the Coldwell Banker blog.coldwellbanker.com, and I see an article about moving long distances with your pets. How to make sure that if you move your pet long distances, they're safe and they're happy. I could copy and paste that article to my business page, or I could go to my couch, put my dog on my lap, who we adopted in LA and moved to Holland, and use him in the video. Dogs and babies are the two keys to a successful video, as always, even with luxury. But literally anything and everything. If you have an idea for an article to post, or you find something that you wanted to share, think about, could I do a video on this? Yep, that's where we're going, Anthony. So anything and everything, but especially with luxury listings. You would think that this might go without saying, but it does not. From my experience, every luxury listing that you get should have professionally shot video, period. Now, I'm going to show you a couple examples of agents who have been able to pull off high-quality video themselves, but this, to me, is a no-brainer. And yes, it costs money, and yes, it's an extra thing than just shooting high-res photography, but you are listing a home worth $800,000, worth $1.2 million, worth, if you're in the Virgin Islands, $8.9 million. Photos will not do those properties justice. You have to have a video of the property. And keep in mind, when you shoot a video, if you've got a listing for even $600,000 and you go and get a video shot, that does a lot of things. First of all, depending on the client, they're either going to be impressed by this or they're going to expect it. If I were listing a luxury home, if my home were going to be listed and it was a luxury home, which it's not, but if it were, I would expect this to be done, and I wouldn't list with an agent who wasn't going to do this. And if someone doesn't have that mindset, if they're not expecting it, then they're going to be blown away by it because they're going to think it's awesome. Secondly, it's obviously going to market that property well, right? You're going to be able to play it big screen on ColdwellBankerLuxury.com. It's going to get syndicated everywhere. It's a great tool to market that specific property. But additionally, it is a listing asset for your upcoming listings. So the next time you have a listing appointment, you can sit down with at that appointment and say, this is the kind of video I do for my luxury listings. Take a look at this. And you can play that and show them, this is what I do for all of my listings. So this one to me is a non-negotiable. If you're getting a luxury listing, you're doing a disservice to your client if you don't get a professional video shot. Everything else, these are where we start to talk about the sorts of videos you can do by yourself, right? With all this gear that we're talking about. Market updates. These are huge right now. What is going on in your area? In the luxury market, in the overall market, what is going on in your area? I don't know, people are coming in 40 minutes late. Brand updates. So with Coldwell Banker Luxury specifically, and I personally believe that this stuff becomes more important when you move into the luxury arena versus the residential arena. What is your brand doing in luxury? We all know of this specific competitor in our area who's known as the luxury boutique or the luxury powerhouse. And part of the reason we rebranded from Coldwell Banker Previews a couple of years ago, 3 years ago now? I think it was 2017 we rebranded. Part of the reason why we did that was because statistically, we were the luxury powerhouse. Coldwell Banker was, but we weren't branding ourselves like that. So sharing, when those numbers come out every year, do a video on that. Say, hey, I just want to share with you these amazing stats that came out about Coldwell Banker Global Luxury. Share those updates because, I think we're going to, one of the keys here, guys, and we'll talk about this actually on I think 2 slides from now. one of the keys with luxury, and your luxury ambassadors will tell you this too, whether you are a luxury agent or you are trying to break into the luxury market, is branding yourself as luxury. That's the bottom line. Telling people that you are a luxury agent, that you can help list their luxury properties. And when you share these brand updates, that is what people associate with you, the luxury brand. Did you know? So did you know videos are sort of what I call evergreen content, which means that they are going to be generally relevant 6 months from now as they are right now. Did you know if you list with Coldwell Banker Luxury, you get ABC? Did you know that, Coldwell Banker sold the first one that comes to mind is the Playboy Mansion. I know that we sold that, but there are a couple, celebrity properties. Did you know Coldwell Banker, the same company that I work for, sold this property in California or this property in New York? Giving people little piecemeal tidbits of your brand. Community goings on. So this is a huge one, right? This is the same for residential, but I especially with luxury, I feel like it's just as, if not, or the Siesta Key property for $107 million. Exactly, Pam. It's exactly the sort of thing that people might want to know about. Community goings on. So things like that. Were there high-end luxury sales in your area? What is going on? A lot of these kind of tie in too, right? Like this could go on with the market updates too. Community goings on, market updates, but community goings on is what's going on. It's self-explanatory. What's going on in your community? If you are branding yourself as an expert in real estate, in luxury, and everything, it is vital that people know that you know your area, that you share with them that you know your community. So being a part of that is hugely important. And honestly, guys, that's as simple as going to the farmer's market and shooting a little video or doing a nice Instagram photo from the farmer's market. It's as simple as just being in your community. Is there more to this one? Yes. Tips and tricks. Yes. Oh, duh. Tips and tricks. So this goes into the evergreen category, where what can you do to make your home look more luxury? What can you do to make your yard or give more curb appeal to your home? And these don't have to just be about home ownership or real estate. But this is where I think there's a huge opportunity for your interests and your personality to kind of come out and play, because we all have different interests. Obviously, it's a stupid thing to say, but we all have different interests. And this is where you can talk about those things. I've seen some of our agents who love decoration, who love making things look great. My wife recently redid all of our countertops in our kitchen with this paint program. You guys probably know better than I do. It's like a roll-on paint thing. They look beautiful. It cost us about $100. And it took way less time and way less trouble than bringing in all new countertops. And it looks the same. So maybe your video is, hey guys, I love all things luxury. I love these modern luxury homes, but sometimes we don't always have the budget to do that. I wanted to show you a really cool thing that we use to make our kitchen look that much better. Or maybe it's color trends. It's as simple as that. Hey guys, white and gray modern rooms are what's in right now. White cabinets, gray walls. This is, talking about what is in. I know that might not speak to some of us because that might not be our thing, but find your thing. Because that is the kind of stuff that keeps you top of mind. On average, the average homeowner is only in the real estate market every 7 to 9 years. And it's trending more toward the 9 than the 7 over the past couple of years. 7 to 9 years. If all you do are listing videos, or the only content you supply them with is listings, how are you going to stay relevant and stay top of mind for them? Why should I care about what you're sharing if all you're doing is listings and I just sold my home with you last year? So these tips and tricks, these community goings on, these things that are relevant to home ownership, not just real estate, will help you stay top of mind. But again, this is a starting point, this list here. These are not the only things you can do video on, nor are they. We'll talk about this on the next slide, but one of my favorite things about video is that, it's kind of the age-old adage, but the more you do it, the better you get. But I also would add to that the more you do it, the more ways you find, the more ways you discover to have fun, to do something interesting, and to do something cool with it. So There's an agent in Michigan. I don't think he's on right now, but an agent named Chris Jane. His Facebook page is Chris Jane, Jane, sells houses. And the credit that I will always give Chris is that he is a video king. And he taught himself how to edit. He taught himself how to do video. And in the first couple times I shared that information, someone said, well, he's probably a newer agent and trying to do newer things. He's a top producer in the area, anywhere between, depending on the year, 14 to 18 million a year in Big Rapids, Michigan, in the middle of Michigan. At the time that we had done this, he 3 kids and was a full-time pastor. And I share those things to say it was not because he had all of this time on his hands, but it's because this is where he found value. It is how he stood out. And also he felt fulfilled by doing this. He found joy in the process. So the more you do it, and the reason I share that is because there was one time he did a video, he had his drone guy doing a video with him. And while shooting that video, I think he had he had drawn on a sign to do something, with markers. While doing that video, holding up the sign, he had the idea for his next video, which he shot in sort of an old-timey black and white style, where it was literally shot in black and white, and they put old-timey music, and instead of talking, he had a bunch of signs where he'd do this, and he'd pull the next sign up and do that, and do the next sign. But the reason I share that is because he had an idea for his next video while shooting that current video. So the more you play in the sandbox, the more ideas you're going to get. But you can't expect yourself to just go in and have all these amazing ideas for video. And if you do, then do those videos. But you're going to have more fun and come up with more ideas the more you do it. So I want to share some examples with you guys here. The first couple are from an agent named Christoph Chu. Now you can see him on YouTube. He is he is one of the premier luxury agents in this company. Jeanette's trying to join. Remember, guys, I didn't say anything about her at all during this entire training. Hi, Jeanette. Welcome to the training. So glad to have you here. So he is a premier luxury agent in California. And I've got his YouTube channel here. I got a couple examples I want to share from it, but there's a couple of things I want to point out here. This was as of yesterday. I took this little video, or the screenshot, sorry. So first of all, 30.2 thousand subscribers. Not just views, subscribers on his channel. Now, subscribers do not always translate to direct views. It's a complicated relationship, but 30,000 people said, I want to know when Christoph does his next video. The other thing I want you to pay attention to here is look at the content. Obviously, there are listing videos here. You've got a tour of the outdoor area here. You've got a demo project that they've been working on that's got 1.5 thousand views. But look at this other content that he's talking about. So look right here. Lunch at Avra Beverly Hills, a new listing that has a 4+ acres, 4+ private acreage, where we are eating safely and comfortably in Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills and Los Angeles luxury real estate market update. So again, Belmont, our pet raven, coming for breakfast. That's pretty cool. Well, I could watch the ducks for hours. This is one of the premier agents in all of Coldwell Banker across the world. And why I show you this whole screenshot is because no matter what luxury is image, right, you have to look the part. You have to exude luxury. But that does not mean that you have to be stuffy. It does not mean you can't smile. It doesn't mean you have to take everything super seriously. Of course, you have to take the listing seriously. You're dealing with someone's $3 million property. There's nothing funny about that. But you as a person need to come across as just that, a person. So I just wanted to share a couple of examples I've got of Christoph here. And I'm going to turn the audio down because I know that YouTube videos on Zoom don't come across well all the time. I wonder if I can make the video bigger here. This video is literally him sitting in a booth at a restaurant, looking the part, by the way. He looks luxury, but all he's doing is talking about where, like we saw earlier, where we are eating safe and comfortably in Beverly Hills. He's doing a community-based video from a luxury aspect. The other thing I want to showcase to you guys, and I'm going to play the audio just briefly here.
I thought I'd share today a little bit about where are the places to go eat for lunch or dinner in Beverly Hills outdoors.
So I don't know if you heard all of that, but part of my point was that you can hear the background noise. You can hear the wind and the city. And I don't even, honestly, not that I have any advice to give Christoph, but it's not the highest quality audio because he has all this noise here. But I say that to say he is one of the biggest biggest luxury agents in the world. And he is sitting at a booth at a restaurant with his little sign. He's being a person and he's sharing stuff that is important to him, that he thinks is important to you, and showing all of the steps that people are taking. So you can hear the car beep. You can see him sitting in the booth. He's sitting, one of two things is happening. He's either sitting with another person or he's using a tripod right here. I like this other video too. I just saw this title down below. This probably demonstrates my point actually better than my second example did. Let me see. They both kind of do, I think, actually. This is that market update video. So again, not that I'm doing life better than Christoph is, but the angle could be a little bit better because he's looking down at the camera. Outside of that, though, he's sitting in his office. He's got the Global Luxury logo and his logo behind him, and he's talking and giving a market update, and it has almost 900 views. So if we look at the other video that I was just showing, same deal here. He's sitting in his office, and this one is a few years old, so the quality is a little bit diminished. He's sitting in his office, and the content, look at the title of this video. What are my closing costs and property taxes as a buyer in Los Angeles and Beverly Hills? So he's doing real estate related stuff, but also stuff that's theoretically going to be interesting outside of that. I live in Holland, Michigan. I kind of want to know what my property taxes are in LA. I lived in LA for 3 years. How long did we live there, Jeanette? 3 or 4 years. I only had an apartment. I never bought a home out in Los Angeles. What do you think I am, crazy? Or made of money? I would be curious to know that sort of stuff. But he's branding himself as an expert. Look at this other video down here. And again, this is stuff that I'm finding out as I see it. What is the process and the step for buying a home in Beverly Hills and Los Angeles? Just normal videos with a luxury perspective, with a luxury image. That is half the key to this, guys, is just branding yourself as luxury. Famous for his shoes, rather slippers. Yes, exactly, Alicia, and that's a great point. If you've seen him speak at Gen Blue, he's got this whole thing about his shoes and his slippers, and that makes him who he is. That's one of his little quirks that makes him who he is. Couple more examples here. Example 3, this is another agent in California, Tim Smith, who does what he calls films. He doesn't do videos. That in and of itself is a branding genius. That's a genius branding move. When he sits down with a client, he says, I'm going to do a film for your property. It might seem little, guys. It might seem like a minor thing, but think how cool, and pardon my French, think how badass that sounds if someone walks into your home and says, I'm going to shoot a film for your property. I'm not going to do a video. I'm going to do a film. That in and of itself, like I said, is already a cool thing. But look at this, oh, I hear someone's mic, you guys. If you don't mind muting, that would be cool. How great this property looks. And again, of course, he's got cool properties to work with, right? He lives out in California. But still, he is taking these videos. And again, if you show me this and say, this is what I'm going to shoot for your home, I'm in. I'm in. So there's one last video I want to show you guys, and then I'm going to go to our final slide. Let's go to example number 4 real quick. Whoops. Example 4. I'm going to share this property real quick here. This is a property, in St. Croix. And again, I know that video comes through dodgy on Zoom, but I just want to watch this for a couple of seconds here, guys. Let me turn the music on so that's not awkward. So again, I know it's probably coming through a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of choppy, that's the word for you guys. Here's the thing I want to tell you about this video. This video was shot, edited, and completed on a smartphone. one of our agents in St. Croix shot this on her smartphone with a stabilizer, cut it together, and uploaded it to YouTube, and this is their listing video for this property. They didn't hire a professional videographer for this. They hired a professional photographer and to get the drone shots and to get the views, but this was a self-shot video. And when we look at, I'm going to go back to some of these. I mean, even this, look how smooth this shot is. And she's walking. You don't see her footsteps. You don't see the bobbing up and down. You see a smooth shot. All I'm trying to show you with this video is you can do this. This is, Corinne definitely had some practice, but that's how she got to a point where she shot this home, where I believe this one in particular is in the millions, somewhere in the millions. She shot this, so you can see, here's the wide drone shot, and then it goes into the video itself. She shot this by herself with a stabilizer and a smartphone, and I'm fairly certain she edited it on that smartphone as well. You can do this. Now, again, I'm in Holland. I don't have this beautiful view to work with. I have a pretty nice view, but it's not of the Caribbean. That doesn't mean that the steps that she took to make this video are any different than the steps that you're going to take. So let's round out with some tips here, some just kind of generic tips, guys. I cannot drill this point down enough. And this is not just a video thing. This is a marketing luxury thing across the board, guys. Consistency is key. You cannot do one video and expect to get 3 new luxury listings, 1 new luxury lead. You have to continue to do it. It is not one and done. Nothing in marketing is one or done. I always say this. You don't put a billboard up for a day and then take it down and go, I didn't get anything out of it, billboards suck. You don't do one mailer or one neighborhood and go, farming sucks, postcards suck, one newspaper, right? You can't do anything once. You have to have a consistent plan of attack. Literally put it in your calendar if that's what you need to do to remind you to shoot video. Every Monday from 9 to 9:30, I'm shooting my video. Or every, Thursday afternoon, whatever it is. Put it in your freaking calendar so you schedule around that time block. Number two, speak from the heart. This goes back to what Christoph was doing. This goes back to what I was saying earlier. Scripts are not necessary. Write what you need. And what I mean by that is if you've ever heard me speak before or if you've been paying attention for the past hour, you know that I have a tendency to ramble. I have a tendency to kind of not, like literally in this moment, not have a direct structure for what I'm saying. But I do have bullet points. That's literally what this presentation is. So for me, sometimes I need the bullet points. I need the 3 or 4 boop, 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 boop that I need in order to do my video. Sometimes I just go, I'm going to talk about this, and I shoot that video. But I never have a script. And the reason why is because people can tell, unless you are a newscaster, when it's expected and obvious the cadence that you're going to use, or you are a professional teleprompter reader, people can tell when you've memorized a script or when you are reading a script. And it takes so much away from the video. If you watch those videos from Christoph, he is not perfectly saying every word. He's going to have his ums, his uhs, his stumbles. Excuse me. That is what makes him him. It is what endears him to people. It is what makes him feel personable and relatable. It is okay to have, I even hesitate to call them mistakes, but it's okay to have mistakes in your videos because that's what makes you who you are. This is absolutely key with luxury videos. Present yourself with authority. You are the expert. I had an agent once ask me in regards to video as a whole, why should I do video in the sense of, why do people care what I have to say about this? And I kind of said, well, if that's your mindset in the video, why should I work with you at all? Why should I care what you have to say about the market? Why should I care about what you have to say about pricing my home? You need to have confidence in yourself that you are the expert in real estate, and especially when it comes to luxury, you need to present yourself with authority. You need to show people, you need to not say, oh, hey guys, it's JD here, and I don't have any luxury listings yet, but I do know a little bit about the luxury market, so I thought I would share. No. Hey guys, JD here. I wanted to give you an update on the luxury market in West Michigan. It is hotter than you think. Part number one, and you launch into it. Presenting yourself with authority when it comes to luxury is essential, especially if you're trying to break into the market, because you need to prove that you know what you're talking about. And that's why we have the Black Book. That's why we have Coldwell Banker Luxury and CBX and all these tools to give you that authority. So you're not BSing, you're speaking from a place of genuine knowledge and expertise. Thank you, Todd. Bye, Marcy. And we're, yes, I know office meetings are starting now, so we only got about 5 to 10 more minutes left of this, guys, and then we're going to wrap it up. But I want to get through some of these points. So present yourself with authority. You are the expert. Shoot horizontal for the love of all things that are holy. Shoot your video this way. Horizontal, not vertical. That's all I got to say on that. Shoot your videos horizontal. All video. I'm going to go to that question in a second, Deb, because I don't quite understand what you mean by that. So if you want to maybe we can offline that if we have to. But let me know more about that in a minute here. Cover all areas and facets with expertise. So like I said, when we were looking at Christoph's videos, he wasn't just doing an update on the luxury market. He was talking about properties and sales taxes. He was talking about how, what was the other one that we saw that he did? I don't know what the other one was, but he was talking about more than just the market. He was talking about all the facets of from where to eat to what your property taxes are to showing the birds down by the river, right? Cover all of these areas with expertise. Don't just do the listings, do everything. If you're trying to brand yourself as a luxury agent, every aspect of the videos that you do, the content you put out, the branding on your postcards, on your business cards, should all look luxurious. Even if you're just doing a video from your office, from your home, like we are right now, dress the part. Look luxurious. Let's see what other points do we have here. Remember your audience. This is absolutely vital, guys. Remember your audience. What I mean by that is that you are doing videos for consumers, for clients, for your sphere, for friends, for family. You're not doing video for other agents. And the blunt way of putting that is meaning you might have to dumb it down a little bit. When you're talking about the luxury market, you might not want to get right into all the analytics and the MLS and the H area and all blah, 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 blah. How does this apply to me? So 2 things. 1, dumb it down so it makes sense to someone who is not a realtor or in the real estate industry. And 2, tell me how this affects me. As a consumer, as someone living down the street, as someone living on the other side of town, what is the value for me? What is what does this bring me as the consumer? That part is vital. So sometimes that literally means saying what this means for you. The example I use in all my video trainings is, hey, let's just say, earlier this year when interest rates were going down, there was one time in particular where interest rates, I think this was actually last year, but interest rates were expected to rise, and I don't think they ever did. My video could be, hey guys, JD here. So I don't know if you guys saw, but we just heard from our lenders, that our lending partner, that interest rates, the Fed is expected to raise interest rates in the next couple of weeks here, or the next month or so. What that means for you is that if you were thinking of buying a home, but we're going to put it off, if you wait, you might pay more every single month on your mortgage than if you were to buy a home and lock a rate in right now. So you're saying, here's the information, here's what that means for you. You're going to pay more money if you wait. So tell me what it is and why it matters to me. 2 more things. Have fun. I know that that's kind of like the silly kind of, hey, go out and have some fun. It is so much fun to do video, guys. I genuinely do understand and empathize with the shock factor, right? Having to be on camera, having to speak and be presentable and be interesting or be informative, that is a huge hurdle to get over. And one of the tips that I forgot to add here is that the first time you shoot a video, or if you're getting into the video, outside of time blocking to make yourself do it, have somebody else in the room with you. Have your spouse or your kid or another agent distancing, but behind the camera so that you can talk to them. Because ultimately, any video, whether you have some behind the camera or not, or are on Zoom, or you're just recording something, it's a conversation. You are sharing information with another person or another group of people. Like there's like 77 of you guys still in the room right now, 76. I'm sharing this information with you. I'm talking to you. I'm not talking to the lens. I'm talking to you. So have someone else in the room with you if you need to get more comfortable doing the video. But ultimately, the more you do it genuinely, the more fun you're going to have. The more value you're going to find. And like I said, the more ideas you're going to come up with as you go. You do a video, you go, oh, I should do this next time. You do that the next time. You're doing the second one, oh man, maybe if I do this next time, and so on and so forth, to the point where you're having an absolute blast with the video. And again, to me personally, the bottom line ultimate goal of all video is connecting with your audience, building a relationship with the people who are watching your videos. That is the bottom line of all of it. The information doesn't matter. The stats don't matter. What matters is someone looking at you and deciding, I want them to list my luxury home. I want to work with them because they seem informative, they seem intelligent, they seem fun, they seem like somebody I would enjoy working with. We'll talk about that next week, so I'm not going to worry about that right now. So any other questions, guys? I'm going to wait for questions, but I do want to show you as we are waiting. In particular, I want to show you what we call the $50 movie studio that's available on Schmidt Resources. So, and if you have any other questions, please write them in. But if you go to Schmidt Resources and you click on your region, you click on Florida right now. It feels like I'm in Florida right now. How humid and hot it is outside, and less, beautiful than Florida can be. We're going to scroll down to video and social media right here. Look for my mug. Sorry about that. I should change that. And when you click on this square, you'll see right here, $50 movie studio. A PDF that you can print if you literally want to print it, or you can take a look at it. It covers the things that you need. You need your smartphone, you need your tripod and clicker, and your microphone. The ring light is a new addition, but I'm going to, again, put this in the chat just so you guys can see the gear that we talked about, and you can, if you want to, everyone in meeting, we're going to do ring light, tripod, and clicker, not and or, but and clicker if you want. We're going to do the microphone. It's going to call clip on or tripod, meaning sometimes they'll clip on your shirt, sometimes they'll clip on your tripod. Ring light, tripod, clicker, microphone, and then DJI Osmo for level 2. Literally, go to Amazon, pop that stuff in. And the reason Osmo. We're not going, is it? Oslo is in Sweden? We're not going to Sweden. But no other questions have come in. Now, as always, guys, you can always reach out after the fact, but please remember that this is going to be uploaded, hopefully by noon today, into the Schmidt Video Classroom. You can go to literally type in schmidtvideoclassroom.com. Let me see if I can find yours, Deb. You might, like I said, you might want to offline that about me because I don't quite understand what you mean by a virtualtour.com link. If you want, you can unmute yourself. Duh, I'm dumb. Go ahead.
It's okay.
Sorry.
Just real quick, somewhere over COVID, I was listening to everything, and there was a recommendation with Global Luxury to get, like, I have my Deb's listings fl.com.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a suggestion to do Deb's virtual tour fl.com, say.
Mm-hmm.
And I did go to GoDaddy and got, paid for a couple of virtual tour links.
Sure.
Is that worth?
Yeah. So, all right, this is where we start to get into personal / professional preference. So take what I'm about to say with a giant bottle of salt. Ultimately, the goal of those is for easy marketing, right? So like if yours is literally debsvirtualtour.com and you have a virtual walkthrough of your home, you could put that on flyers and postcards and send that out so that when I see it, it's easy for me to type in. And what's cool about those is that you can change their destination, meaning you could use that for listing 1, and then when that listing is sold, and then you get listing 2, you can use that same link and redirect it to the second listing. So that way it's kind of evergreen, right? Like you're getting value. You're not just using it for one listing, you're using it for multiple. So that would be the value in it, and I don't necessarily disagree with that. I personally think that real estate as a whole, I think, is really obsessed with domain names. Like, we want every single custom domain name. And again, listen, if I was listing and buying and selling, I would have my own custom domain. Probably 2 of them, whether it's like jdsellshomes.com and then a second one or something. But I also don't think that everything needs to have a custom domain. Sometimes it just seems like, because what I've seen happen more often than not is I'll buy 10 domains and then all of a sudden I'm not using 8 of them. And now I'm just paying to have those 8 domains sitting there. However, in regards to the virtual listing, I think that could be useful, like I said, because you can change the destination and you're getting value out of it continually, as long as you use it, right? It's only as valuable as you use it. But I think there's definitely value there if that's something you want to do, for sure. One last, not to muddle the weeds, or that's not a phrase, not to add more confusion to it, but the only thing I would say is that when it comes to computer devices, meaning phones, computers, tablets, in my opinion, there's no difference between emailing a YouTube link or emailing a domain name, because I'm going to click on it. I'm not going to type it into the search bar. I'm going to click on it from my phone or my computer. So at that point, I would start to say there might not be as much value, but especially in print marketing, I think there's a ton of value there. So any other questions, guys, before we wrap it up today? You're all very welcome. Like I said, thank you guys for taking the time to be here. Next week, Tuesday at 9. Next week should maybe be a little bit shorter, hopefully right on the 60-minute mark. We're going to talk about using these videos, because you shoot one video, you can upload it to 3 or 4 different places. And we're going to talk about how to do that and why. So as always, guys, if you have any other questions, you can follow up with me after. Shoot me an email. But thank you for your time. This has been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed this, and I'm looking forward to next week already. So have a great rest of your day and rest of your week, and I'll see you next time.